everyone, my name is Goshka Volnik and I'm a life coach. Here with me is Gosha Zhemba, astrologer, and Yuta Klipsch, life coach as well, and she calls herself different name each time. She calls her something different.
So sure. I'm a breakthrough and divorce coach. That's my
divorce coach. Yes. Okay, off we go.
I'm also a life coach. Yes.
Okay, last time we were talking about procrastination, and after our recording, we decided to continue actually on procrastination because it seems very interesting subject. And each of us, deep down, is a little bit of procrastinator. My question for tonight, or for today, will be how we deal with procrastination. Today I will be the first one to talk. So, how to notice that you are procrastinating? I think it is you have this feeling that very important task or important task has to be done. You planned it, you know it has to be done, but for whatever reason it is, you just don't do it. I started to observe myself what actually I'm doing when I'm procrastinating. And that was my first step to noticing when I procrastinate. So I've noticed how I go from the kitchen, for example, to the bathroom, and on the way I fold something, fold washing. Okay, then when I'm folding washing, then I go to the bathroom and I say, oh, the sink should be done. It's a little bit dirty. So then when I do the sink, I go back to the task. And on the way, when I have to start this task, I see, oh, maybe I will make a tea. So I make a tea. And I've noticed that sometimes it takes me 30 to 45 minutes to go to the task I'm postponing. And usually it is a task which I think I really want to do because I plan it. I know it is my task for today, my goal, but I don't do it. Well, so I started to think how to break this procrastination. First of all, I'm using the Pomodoro technique, which one of my coaches showed me. And on my mobile phone, which is here, I have alarm set for 25 minutes. And when I have to do something really very important or I really want to do it, then I set this timer for 25 minutes. Then I allowed myself for 5 minutes break, and then I start again. As I mentioned at one stage with discussion with Gosha, I want to read more books during the day, and it is very difficult to find the time for that. And usually it's difficult to find this time because I have this tendency to procrastinate. So now I set a time for 25 minutes in the morning that there is no interruption. It's my 25 minutes to do the task. What else I'm doing to not to procrastinate? I'm breaking tasks into small chunks. Last time Yuta was talking about elephant. How do you eat an elephant? And it is bite by bite, because if we choke when the task is too big, if it is overwhelming, we can't do it. From my experience, I used to have a client who definitely was afraid to pick up the phone. And he was doing everything not to do it. He was procrastinating. He was sorting, filing, making other phones. But when he knew that the boss is ringing, he was not answering the phone. And my biggest task with this client was to find out why he doesn't want to pick up this phone. One, he's procrastinating. Is he afraid, or if it is anxiety, or what it is? So breaking a day into smaller tasks for him was quite difficult. He was a lawyer, so all his tasks were very big. But what he did, he just put on his phone a reminder every 30 minutes, or that he has to answer the phone when someone is calling him, not postponing it, not making excuses, not procrastinating, but answering the phone. You know, when we have this message ability to message someone, we can leave a message, but sometimes it is not enough to just to pick up this phone and take action. So there were my tips. First of all, 25 minutes and 5 minutes break, just to have a routine and do the task which is important for you. And if they are really important for you, you will find time. So who will be next to talk about procrastination and what do you do not to procrastinate your time?
I will not procrastinate. I will talk.
You will not. Okay. That's okay. So do you have a message on your phone? Don't procrastinate.
No, I don't have messages. Anyway, well, I just want to say, which I found out quite a long time ago, is actually all these tasks and all these little jobs you're delaying and procrastinating about, it actually costs you energy. So if you come from the spot of energy, it actually robs you out of energy. So most of the time when you look at it, actually completing a task instead of pushing it up the hill in front of you is actually requires energy and momentum. But the thing is, once it's done, you actually will see that you have more energy, because it costs you energy just by sitting there and thinking about it and having guilt complex about it. So, and the second thing is, don't think you're special because you procrastinate, because everybody does it. Okay, everybody. I think it's a default thing in our system.
It's painful to do task.
Pardon?
It's painful to be active all the time.
But no. We doing things all the time anyway. Like, we're doing things all the time. Even when we sleep. So, like, it doesn't really matter what we're doing. We're making this thing, oh, it's hard and it's this and it's that, and we're making meanings about our tasks. That's probably one of the things. But I mean, technically, we're doing things all the time. If we do dishes, if we read a book, if we do write a book, whatever, it's doing something, isn't it? But it's the meaning and the, how hard it is we put towards it makes it so hard. Like, what's the difference between cleaning dishes and reading a book? It's an action.
You see? You prioritize. If it is your priority to have a clean kitchen, you will do it all the time. Whenever you go there, you will clean it.
So if you procrastinate, you might want to check if it's a real priority or it's just a makeup priority. True. Is it really what you want? Because if you about something passionate, most of the time you actually don't need a phone or a reminder or whatever. But I mean, of course, there's like things we don't really like to do, but they get us to our future self we would like to be. But you see, like, this future self we want to be, and we're motivated, like losing weight, whatever, but as soon there's like instant gratification is the other, which kills our future self. So it's really funny. I just read a book, a little story about, what was his name? Victor Hugo. He wrote the Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was procrastinating, 1831 or whatever. And what he did, he gave his servant all his clothes apart from his scarf. So he didn't have anything to wear apart from a scarf. So he had to sit in his room until he wrote his novel or whatever it was. Yeah. So, you know, you find something. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't want to buy and spend money or whatever, you go to the shop, leave your wallet at home, or just take $10. For me, you know, my phone is a really big distraction. So you just put it somewhere where you can't have access to it. Or let it
Everyone has tool.
you know,
Yep.
or let it, I don't know, run out of batteries and give the charger to a friend or something, you know, like find something what works. Or, I mean, as we just talked about the marshmallow test, which was like they had a test in the 60s, 70s. They gave kids 4 years, 5 years a marshmallow and said, here, if you delay 10 minutes, you get another one. And what they found, because they, you know, like had a look at their lives later in life, how they were going, and what they found, the people with the skill of delayed gratifications were the most successful. So it is, you know, not your IQ and how smart you are, it's actually delayed gratification. It's a really, really big thing. What else did I want to say? There was something else I wanted to say. No, I forgot. Yeah.
That's okay. So you think, and Gosha will tell us something from, you know, from the stars. What
What's written in the stars, Goya?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, but
the procrastination.
yeah, before I start about the stars, yeah, I just wanted to agree with both of you that yeah, we all procrastinate, and some people do it all the time, and some do it from time to time. But we delay or postpone something because either it is very boring or it's overwhelming. But sometimes what is overwhelming for you must not be as difficult for me, and vice versa. We all have our own personal overwhelms. So for example, I procrastinate whenever I have to find information over a phone. So phone call. And I usually have a good excuse not to do it. So I would ask my son or my husband to do it for me. And it normally works unless they refuse to cooperate for some reason. But today I wanted to talk about something else, that sometimes we actually do need a break, and we do need to postpone some important action. And I would like to tell you how each zodiac sign would can procrastinate in a healthy manner. So for example, Aries people, they have lots of energy, and they need to put this energy somewhere. So when they need a break, the healthy way to do it is to do strenuous exercises or go for a run with a friend so they can compete with each other. Taurus, on the other hand, is a very good procrastinator, and they do it by pampering their body. To have a break from a task, they should actually go for a walk with the dog or by themselves, but preferably in the nature. Geminis love to exchange information, and if they are forced to be cooped up in a house by themselves for a long time, they become nervous and scattered. So they would benefit from talk with a friend. They can talk about something completely insignificant, but just a chat will calm them down. Cancers are emotional beings, although they don't show it very much. They like things to go their way, but they don't say it very much as well. So a long shower can help them to clear their head and boost their mood. Leos, they love company. So any social event like lunch with friends or Zoom meeting over tea or long phone call conversations, they should improve their disposition and interrupt anything which is a monotonous task. Virgos worry too much, and they seem like they constantly in their head planning something what they must do next. So they would probably benefit from guided meditation, breathing exercises. This would break the cycle of talking heads. Libra people love harmony. So a nice meal with candlelight, with music, with loved one, they may bring, you know, the needed balance into their busy lives. Scorpios like puzzles, so watching a thriller can give them a dose of excitement and mystery they look for. Sagittarians are travelers, and they have a problem with spending too much time in one place. So probably a drive around, going for a drive, can scratch the itch. Capricorns hardly ever procrastinate. So they would feel in control if they organize their next month's planner, for example, during the break, or watch a stand-up comedian they like. Aquarius people, they think too much, and they are always on the lookout for a good cause they can support. They need grounding. So, for example, using scraps of vegetables to create a new garden might be a thing which you know, like pique their curiosity. And Pisces, the last sign, they are dreamers, and they need anchoring their imagination. So for them, the nice break or delay of task is to go for a dance class or for yoga or for Pilates. But in general, we all, astrologically looking at our personality, we all have all the signs inside. So we procrastinate in our personal way, but we sometimes we do need, I believe that we do need a break and a breather from very boring tasks.
So that's a very interesting interpretation of procrastination. I will call it maybe break or relaxation or something like that. But yeah, that was quite interesting. So in summary, I think.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes, Yuta would like to add something. Yep.
Yeah, because, you know, I had to think. Anyway, so as I'm writing a book called Who's Driving Your Elfin Bus, it is actually with procrastination. You can either be in your driver's seat, this is the one who takes control and does the things you need to do, Or you can sit in the back of your bus and somebody else, a procrastinator, is driving. You can actually give them a name. I don't know, maybe it's Berta who sits in the back and it's Pepe who sits in the front, who knows. But anyway, and then you give actually the button of control to Pepe who's driving the bus. So she's determining what you're doing and that you're ending the task. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's self-mastery and getting into the driver bus and take control of your bus and your life.
Yeah, well, Yuta, actually, I use this term, who is driving, this question you just mentioned, who is driving your bus, today with one of my clients, and the result was amazing. It was amazing because when this person all the time wanted to showing me that she's a victim, not taking responsibility for her life, trying to put this responsibility on someone else. And then I said, so who is driving your bus? Who is in a driver's seat? And then it was just like breakthrough,
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's my responsibility.
We finish next year, okay? You can read it.
Okay,
No, but
okay,
if we give other people or even other parts of our self the control button, then, like we are not empowered. You're only empowered when you take responsibility.
Okay, so thank you very much for this very deep insight. So we know that we are driving our bus and we are in control. We in my opinion, if we set alarm every 25 minutes and do the very important task we have to finish, then we will not procrastinate. And Gosha is using procrastination as sort of relaxation tool to unwind.
And remember, everything what is not done gives robs you of your energy, big time.
Yeah, and yes, and that's what really I think is a very important message Yuta told us. It is waste of energy if we start and not finish, or we postpone something to do because it is difficult to finish it when it takes so much time, when the gap between your desire to do something and the action you take, if it is too broad, then you are too tired to finish it up, and then we have to break it into
But
smaller
even if you do something else, like you always carry your unfinished stuff up, through your life, so
exactly.
once you finish it, then you have more energy.
Okay, so it's all for today. Thank you very much for your time, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye. See ya. Bye.
Bye.